So things just got a bit more interesting. Earlier today, we had the announcement that we are getting a free-to-play Goten from the Boo Saga this year. And now, they've also announced that we're getting a Zenkai as well. Don't forget, we also have the Kid Goku unique equipment plus many other equips coming this week. This is actually building up to be one of the better off weeks we've ever seen to start off November. Free character, 1% character getting a Zenkai, and a unique equip for an LF character, and then like multiple equips besides that. This is going to be a pretty jam-packed week, even though we're not getting a new character here. But what we're going to be discussing here is who this is for and what it could mean for Legends Fest, because I talked about how this Goten might not necessarily have anything to do with Legends Fest. However, when it comes to the Zenkai Awakening, these historically have meant something, right? 2 years ago, actually, I guess we can, let me actually just, yeah, we can take a look at the character list here. So actually 3 years ago, it was GT tag Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, and leading up to that, we ended up getting the Zenkai Awakening 4. I could just go to Vegeta and pull this up from him. We ended up getting the Zenkai Awakening for the yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku right here. 2 years ago, it was Beast Gohan. What's a better way to find this? It was Beast Gohan and Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. I think. Who was the Zenkai? Actually, I don't even remember who the Zenkai was this year in November. Who was it? Let me just take a quick look here. Was it God Topo? I actually don't remember who the Zenkai was. It wasn't this guy. I think it was a Universe Reps character that got their Zenkai in November, and people were like, oh, it's Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, and they were right. And then last year, actually, if you guys remember who this was, you can let me know. Actually, I forgot who the Zenkai was 2 years ago. But then last year, we had the Zenkai. It was for Red Zamasu, this old Red Zamasu, which obviously correlated with the Part 1 theme being future. So historically speaking, these Zenkai Awakenings that we get before Legends Fest in November typically do have a correlation with Part 1 characters. So this could be an actual hint here at what we're getting for Part 1 of Legends Fest. Funnily enough, this is a big, even though it's not an LF character, this is a big time character. Why? Because it's for Vegito Blue. It's purple Vegito Blue getting a Zenkai Awakening. This is a 3rd anniversary character. It's actually really funny how they did this. So 3rd anniversary Part 1, they dropped Super Saiyan, the first ever Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then his 1% sparkings were Ice and Nova Shenron. Ice Shenron, by the way, still hasn't gotten a Zenkai. Nova just got his. And then the other banner was Fusion Zamasu, and I bet you they sat down and they were like, damn, how do we get people to summon for Fusion Zamasu over Gogeta? Now, remember, Fusion Zamasu was approximately 4 times better than Gogeta, by the way. Like, Fusion Zamasu was so much better than Gogeta. But people still went all in on Gogeta because it's Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So they probably were like, how do we get people to summon for Zamasu? So what they did is they put a 1% sparking blue Vegito and Super Saiyan 2 Kefla on Zamasu's banner, and people still did not care. They summoned on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta regardless. But this guy was pretty good. This is a 3rd anniversary Part 1 character, 1% sparking on Fusion Zamasu's banner. He was decent. I don't think he was like insanely good. He was just fairly good. But this is, it's a blue Vegito character. He's a really, 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 really big time character. One of the most hyped characters you could possibly have in a game like this. So this is what I would consider to be a big ticket character. But to me, the interesting thing about them dropping this guy is we just had a future celebration, like literally not even a month ago. The future celebration ended like 2 weeks ago. Not even 2 weeks ago. So the fact that we're getting a Vegito Blue Zenkai who could have easily fit into the future celebration, they decide to intentionally delay him to now and drop him here. I mean, this is like 99.9% has something to do with Part 1 of Legends Fest. So we can take a look at his tags here. I'm not really going to count Saiyans, sure, Saiyans, right? Future, and Fusion Warrior and God Key are the 3 different tags I would look at here. Future, I would be genuinely surprised if Future was the part 1 theme. It could be like one of the characters is Future, one isn't, but we just had a Future celebration. The theme of part 1 of Legends Fest last year was Future. They did Future in the beginning of this year. I don't see them going back to doing Future again. So I'm actually going to delete this. I don't think it's going to be Future. Would it really shock me to my core if it was Future? No, it wouldn't. But I don't think that's what they're going for with this. I guess we can take a look at God Key next. It could have something to do with God Key, but if they were going to focus the part 1 around, or at least a portion of part 1 around God Key, I think there's a lot of other characters they could have chosen for the Zenkai instead of picking a Vegito character. So I'm also not really going to be taking a look too much at God Key. I mean, there's like actually a billion different options for Zenkais they could have picked for this. They could have picked Revival Blue Goku. Would have been actually a really, really nice character to have right now in this meta, this Revival Blue Goku. They could have done the purple Goku from the Broly movie. They could have done Green Vados, who actually might be on like the Never Zenkai list. I don't know, this character's, I mean, I don't know. Champa could be a nice pick. Like, there's a million characters they could have picked as Zenkai for God Key, and they picked Vegito. It's a little weird. So I'm going to remove this. I think this is hinting towards a Fusion Warrior, and if we want to combine this with the free-to-play character, which, by the way, like I said, we don't know necessarily if this actually is going to correlate with part 1 or not. We'll see when part 1 is revealed. Boo Saga character, Vegito Zenkai. I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to get a Super Vegito here. Like I said in the video I made earlier today, typically what happens is when we get to a year and a half after a character has released, especially for big time characters, they're typically now back on the menu. We saw this with we've seen this with a million different characters, right? Vegito Blue, Ultra Vegito Blue releases during the 5th anniversary. 1 year and a half later is Legends Fest 2024, and then Vegito Blue's part 1 of Legends Fest. We see, well, it depends. It's varied times, right? Gogeta Blue, where's Gogeta Blue? Here. Gogeta Blue drops, this is Legends Fest 2020, and then he drops again for Legends Fest 2022 as the Ultra character. This guy drops for Legends Fest 2022, and then a year and a half later, 6th anniversary, he drops as a fusing character here. So, I mean, that's another example. Super Vegito drops for the 4th anniversary, and then 2 years later, he drops for the 6th anniversary. Super Gogeta drops right before... No, Super Gogeta drops Legends Fest 2021, then drops right before Legends Fest 2023 with this guy. So it's like a year and a half to 2 years really is the window for seeing a lot of these big time fusion characters, and also not fusion characters like Beast Gohan. Dude, how many Beast Gohans did we get in a short time frame, right? We got Beast Gohan. The first ever one was, I think it was October 2022 was was Blue Beast Gohan. I think it was October. And then the red one dropped not even a year and a half later. It was like 13 months later, the red one dropped. And then the next one after that dropped 14 months later, 13 months after that after him. So it really is like this year to 2 years later kind of time frame where we see these big characters kind of get reused and repurposed to come back to the game. So Super Vegito, the last one being a year and a half ago, I mean, he's right there. He's in the discussion. And by the way, the same thing goes with Gogeta Blue as well, because this is the last Gogeta Blue we got. The only thing with Gogeta Blue, I would not be surprised whatsoever if this was a hint to Gogeta Blue, by the way. It's some kind of new Gogeta Blue character. The main reason why I'm not thinking it's going to be Gogeta Blue, but again, it would not surprise me at all, is because I am almost 100% sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy's getting a platinum equipment during the celebration. That doesn't mean we can't also then get a new version of this guy. But if they're going to give this guy a platinum equipment, I think that the chances of them giving us a brand new version of this character is probably a little bit less. They could swap it. They could go platinum equipment for Vegito Blue and then give us a new Gogeta Blue, and then maybe during the 8th anniversary we get the platinum equipment for Gogeta Blue. It's possible they do that. I mean, we haven't seen them change it up. They've been going in order this time, so we'll see. I mean, again, they could do Vegito Blue first, then Gogeta Blue. It doesn't really matter which one they do first. I mean, they're both kind of old at this point. But I think looking back at the 6th anniversary here, I really do think this might be hinting at one of these two. Either some kind of new Super Vegito, right? Because that would correlate with Fusion Warrior hint plus Majin Buu Saga hint. Or it could just be Gogeta Blue, right? A Vegito Blue Zenkai, and then we get a new Gogeta Blue. I could see it 100%. I really could. I've seen some people talk about the possibility of a new Vegito Blue. I really don't think that's going to be the case, but like I said in the last video, I'm never going to say it's not possible to get one of these. Like if you said, I think UI Goku is coming for Legends Fest, I would say I don't think so, but I'm not writing him off because it's UI Goku. We got Vegito Blue 1 year ago. Now we're getting a Zenkai for this one. I want to say we're not going to get a new Vegito Blue, probably. The reveal happens and it's a Synchro Gauge Vegito Blue. Am I like floored by it? No. But I would say it's probably not like mega likely. So I think based off of this hint here, the fact that we're getting this guy Zenkaiing here, I think it is a Fusion Warrior hint for the reasons I stated earlier. And again, could it be a Synchro Gauge Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? It could be, yeah. It could also be this. This guy's a year and a half old now too, right? He was a 6th anniversary character. Yeah, we got a few Fusion Warriors on the table here. I guess it could also be Super Gogeta, huh? This is just an all-purpose Fusion Warrior reference, I think. I think things are safe to say. I might lock in now. I'm locking in on part 1 being some kind of Fusion Warrior. At least one of the characters being a Fusion Warrior. I'm locking it in. I'm pretty sure part 1 is going to be a Fusion Warrior. It can be pretty much any Fusion Warrior. The only one I don't think it's going to be is Vegito Blue. So Super Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Gogeta Blue, or Super Vegito. I think it's one of those 4. The only thing with Super Vegito and Gogeta Blue is they've already done Synchro Gauge versions of these guys. So I don't know what they would do to make them feel fresh. I guess they'd have to come up with some new mechanics. But if they do go with Super Gogeta or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, they could just simply do Synchro Gauge versions of them. And that would be, I think people would receive that pretty well. It's been a year and a half since you've seen Synchro Gauge characters. These are still the only Synchro Gauge characters in the game. I think if they did a Super Gogeta Synchro Gauge character or a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Synchro Gauge character, that would be very well received by most people. Dude, imagine a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Synchro Gauge. Oh my god, people would go crazy. Talk about a way to supercharge the hype is Synchro Gauge version of this guy. That would be, yeah, that would be very exciting. But that's kind of what I'm leaning towards with this guy getting a Zenkai. I think this is a pure Fusion Warrior hint. So if you are a fan of Fusion Warriors, which based off of how they've done Fusion Warriors in the past, based on how all these games treat Fusion Warriors, I would assume that most people watching this video are at least relatively excited for new Fusion Warrior characters. Get excited, because it looks like we are getting a new Fusion Warrior for part 1 of Legends Fest. At least that's what it looks like right now. As we get closer, this actually kind of changes my scheduling prediction as well. Give me 1 sec, actually. So here's what I don't want to see. So we're heading into, it's currently Monday. It's actually a national holiday today. All these things are dropping here on the 5th. Unique equip for Kid Goku, free-to-play character, 1% sparking Zenkai. What are we doing here? Because typically this is where they drop the 1% Zenkai Awakening. If we get to the 12th and we are basically getting nothing on the 12th, then I would say this is bad, right? Because all they're doing essentially is they're just pushing the Zenkai that should have dropped here to here. I mean, sure, they're giving us an extra week to farm them up or whatever, so it's fine, but the pacing just doesn't seem very good if they're simply just pushing the content from here to here. So now at this point, I might expect maybe like an LF Zenkai next week. Because what else are they going to drop? Are they going to do another 1% sparking Zenkai next week? Are they going to do another LF unique equip next week? I guess they could, but the only thing that's left kind of to fill in another off week is an LF Zenkai, which could be another hint towards what we're getting for Legends Fest Part 1. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what we get. I think they'd probably tease it like here, and then we'd actually see the character drop here, whatever it is. But an LF Zenkai next week, I think, seems at least more likely than it did, because this 1% Zenkai should have been here. but they moved it up. So curious to see how they fill in the next week gap here. But let me know what you guys think of this pick for a 1% Sparking Zenkai. Seems like Fusion Warriors might be one of the themes, at least, of part 1 of Legends Fest. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.